Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video we're going to be talking about a lot of snowfall chances that are coming up, especially for the upper Midwest, the Rockies, the Great Lakes, but also one that we have upcoming for New England as well. Now before I get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. Now I'd also ask that you check out our very exciting Patreon page in the description and the pinned comment down below. Now, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, do you think that we will have any big snowstorms to close out the month of October, or do you think that that's going to have to wait until November or December? Let me know in the comments down below, give me a reason why, and I'll be picking one of these for tomorrow's video. Now, let's get into this video, and first things first, we're taking a look at that nor'easter for the New England states. If you clicked on this video because you live in the upper Midwest, we're going to just touch on this very quickly, and we're going to move over to your section, so rest assured. We're taking a look at some snowfall for Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine potentially coming up just tomorrow morning, actually. So overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. And then we're going to take this to about the afternoon hours of tomorrow. And this model, though very aggressive, seems to think that a lot of the mountainous regions of New Hampshire, Vermont, and then very far northern Maine will be seeing snowfall. But I do think that this is well overdone. Let's go ahead and just take it to the end of that, and as you can see, as it shifts further east, this is going to be maybe about 2 a.m. on Sunday now, October 18th, and as you can see, very far northern Maine is going to be still seeing snowfall by that point. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to move on, and we're going to take a look at the total snowfall that this model has for this storm, as well as the Canadian model, which I think is a lot better for this storm, and then we're going to move up to the upper Midwest and take a look at those clippers that look to come through. Now later today, I'm going to be uploading a actual map forecast of our snowfall forecast for New England for this upcoming nor'easter. But here's what the NAM has to say. Keep in mind, this is not the snow total depth, which would be the actual snow that accumulates. This is the total snow that falls out of the sky. This is well overdone, I think. This is indicating maybe 9 to 18 inches of snow. I think that maybe 6 to 10 inches of snow could fall from the sky, leaving maybe 2 to 6 inches of snow accumulating maximum for any given region. I think that this model is well overdoing this. Here's our high-resolution Canadian model, which I think is doing a much better job. It has it much more northern-based. We see the Berkshires and the Green Mountains getting some. I think little, if any, of that would accumulate, maybe a dusting. Up for the White Mountains in through northern New Hampshire and in through northern Maine, it's indicating that maybe 6 to 12 inches of snow could fall from the sky, which might even be a little overdone. But probably by this point, 3 to 6, maybe 6 inches plus would accumulate. I think it's probably going to be just 3 to 6 maximum for those regions, even accumulating on the ground. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first clipper system now. I wanted to give you guys in New England a little bit of a view of that, but now we're taking a look at a storm moving into Montana as a 997 millibar low pressure center this afternoon and evening. So we're going to start to see snowfall enter Montana actually. And by the time we're taking a look at maybe the AM hours tomorrow, we see North Dakota getting some moderate to heavy snowfall there with the 999 millibar low pressure center located over the southern region of your state. What we're going to do here is we're just going to move on, and we're going to move on towards where we start to see Minnesota and Wisconsin get snowfall from this event, and then we're going to start taking a look at our second clipper of many to come in this video. Alright, now here we are taking a look at probably Saturday evening, maybe 5 p.m. time frame, and as you can see, northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, and even the upper peninsula of Michigan, they're getting some snowfall, some moderate to heavy snowfall here going on. So it's going to be coming down. This is going to be a very northern-based clipper. However, I will say that later on in this model run, we're going to be taking a look at multiple nor'easters that are a lot more south than this one. We have multiple types of clippers coming through, and quite a few for the next 10 days, actually. Some chances at snowfall, very unusual. It's pretty early for these types of storms. So really interesting pattern we're set up in, and it's mostly due to the fact that we have some really cold air set up over the north central United States. That's the biggest factor playing into this right now. Let's take a look at that second system, and as you can see from Montana through into Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, we have some moderate snowfall going on with a weaker low pressure center over Texas and Oklahoma there. I think this is more of a frontal boundary, probably some lighter precipitation going on, maybe a dusting for some of these regions, but it's going to be very, very quick actually, and you can see that cold air actually on this frame just really entering the upper Midwest and really just the north central United States by this point. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to move on, and we're going to take a look at the total snowfall to this point, and then we're going to move on and take a look at our next clipper system. All right, now here we are taking a look at that total snowfall to this point according to our European model. As you can see, that snowfall up there for New England. This model is really doing a good job with that storm. It's been the first one to indicate that nor'easter would bring snowfall, and sure enough, it looks like it is going to at this point because all models have hopped on board. Our first Clipper system, you can see northeastern Montana there has some blues in through North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. That's indicating in the grays, well, about a dusting to maybe 2 inches, and in the blues we're taking a look at 2 to 6 inches of snow, so that's a pretty decent clipper, very typical. Again, just a little more northern based than what we would typically be taking a look at during a clipper system. And then you can see our second system for Montana. The first clipper does bring some snowfall through into Montana and Wyoming, but our second clipper brings some snowfall for Nebraska and Iowa. You can see maybe a dusting there, but Montana and through Wyoming, maybe a general 6 to 9 inches of snow in those purples, and the pinks are indicating a 9 to 14 inches possibly for Montana, Wyoming, that region. Now let's just go ahead and move on and take a look at our next clipper system. There's going to be tons of these, like I said before. This next frame we're taking a look at, we're seeing some moderate snowfall going on for Montana, Wyoming. This one's going to move out very, very quickly. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to move on. That frame was maybe about 9 or 10 p.m. On Sunday. And as you can see, by the time we're taking a look at maybe 3 a.m. on Tuesday, we see our next clipper system already in the region for Montana and North Dakota, seeing some snowfall from that one. So very quickly we transition to the next storm. As you can see, we're in a very active pattern for that north central United States region. And then we can see that this one progresses towards Tuesday afternoon. We're seeing some heavy snowfall for northern Montana, possibly northern Wisconsin or the Upper Peninsula of Michigan as well as North Dakota. So we see this is very similar to our first clipper system actually, as that one comes through. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to move on and we're going to take a look at our next clipper system, which will be, I think, our fourth within this 10-day period. And then we will take a look at how that one progresses. And we'll even take a look at the possibility for another system after that one as well. All right, now here we are taking a look at our next system, and this is going to be about Thursday, I would say approximately maybe 6 a.m. here. We see Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, the Dakotas, Minnesota dealing with some snowfall. We have a 10.05 millibar low pressure center over Colorado here by this point. Also notice the heavy rain there for the Ohio Valley. I put that in the thumbnail that it would be quite stormy because you guys are going to get quite a bit of rain there from a lot of these storms. As you can see, as this one progresses, this is maybe 8 p.m., maybe a little earlier on Thursday, October 22nd. And as you can see, some of the southern regions of Minnesota, a lot of Wisconsin, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan dealing with some quite moderate snowfall if this was to occur. We're getting towards the moderate range here, so this might be a little different than what this is showing. It's really hard to say at this point. Now, there is one more system, like I said, that is going to possibly be occurring, and as you can see, there is some snowfall around towards the end of the run. This would maybe be 12 a.m. on Sunday, October 25th, so that's 9 days out. We're pretty far out by that point. This one take with a grain of salt, but we're going to have a really cold air mass potentially moving into the central United States and racing towards the eastern United States according to this model, with some potential snowfall there for the Rockies and a lot of the plains as well. As you can see, some snow showers going on. So what we're going to do here is take a look at the total snowfall on the entire 10-day period here on our European model, so 240 hours. And as you can see, plenty of snowfall going on for the north central United States according to this model, from Idaho through Montana, Wyoming, Colorado might even get a little bit. And then the northern plains, Nebraska, Iowa, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and maybe even the northern portions of the lower peninsula of Michigan there as well. All going to be seeing generally some chances at snowfall. As you get into the purples, that's where we're taking a look at 6 to 10 inches of snow being possible, and then the pinks are indicating 10 inches plus being possible, so some regions seeing more than others, obviously. Here's what our GFS model has to say, so we're just going to get a second opinion here. And as you can see, it's actually much less widespread, but there's some more potent areas. For instance, Montana and Wyoming, they're seeing the potential for 20 inches plus in those kind of turquoise colors that are showing up, and the lighter pink showing up is indicating areas that are above 16 inches of snow. Also, a much more widespread area of 6 to 10 inches of snow possible from North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Even some more southern regions getting a little more snowfall, like Illinois, Chicago potentially seeing a little bit, northern Indiana, and a lot more there for Michigan, especially the lower peninsula. But really, we see a lot more grays mixed in there, where there's some areas that don't really see much at all, compared to the European model that has a very widespread area of at least, an inch or two falling. Also, according to our GFS model, this is the entire model run, so this is 384 hours. This takes us all the way to November 1st, so this is very extended. But I wanted to show this because look at how much snowfall we're going to start seeing for Canada there in the Arctic regions. We're really going to be building up a snowpack here according to this model as we get this very snowy and cold pattern for a lot of the Canadian regions there, as well as in through the north central United States. That's going to allow for a lot of cold air during the month of November if we see a negative AO. That's the one caveat there. We do need a negative AO for sure to see that occur. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, which winter do you think that this one is looking like the most? And ECL 2002 said 2017 to 2018. They were both La Niñas, and to me, it looks like this winter will turn out similar to that winter temperature-wise. And I'm kind of opening more to the idea of some of those middle 2010 years where we had La Niñas. I think those are pretty good analogs at this point. 2010 to 2011 is a really good analog, and there's some other earlier on La Niña years that are very, very good analogs at this point. We're going to be talking a lot more about the winter coming up soon because I have big changes to my forecast, significant changes actually. We've seen some different oscillations look a lot different than how they were looking even just a couple of weeks ago. So we have some huge updates coming up, and it's good and bad news depending on where you live. I'm not going to talk about that anymore because you will have to just see it in the video. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our diamond patrons Alicia Davis, Madbirds, Dan Hazard, Cindy Klein, and Mark J, alongside our 2 platinum patrons Donna Carnes and Larry LePan. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media. I will see you guys in the next video.